A Chinese kid just arrived in New York only to get humiliated by a local karate gang. But when they push him too far, his grandfather shows up, and let's just say they had no idea who they were messing with.
Good. Yo, Beijing, how's the eye? Looks like it's healing up nice.
Mr. Han was a respected shifu at a kung fu school in Beijing. Despite his mother's strict prohibition, his grandson Li continued to study there. Li's mother, Mei, had already lost her eldest son because of kung fu, so she begged her uncle not to fill Li's head with martial arts. She also found a new job in New York, so soon they would be moving to America. Li wanted to stay, but his mother was firm.
You practice violence, you get violence in return.
Why are you speaking in English, Mom?
New city, new language.
The boy had no choice but to obey. After moving, they settled into a small apartment in Chinatown. That evening, Li went out for a walk and grabbed a pizza for dinner at the nearest pizzeria. The employees were rude to him for being an immigrant, especially when he asked for something unusual like toilet paper.
I apologize on behalf of these morons.
Li had just arrived from Beijing, and adjusting wasn't going to be easy. Every day, he would have to get used to a new school routine and strange American food. On his way home from school one day, Li helped a girl who worked at the pizzeria. Her name was Mia, and they quickly became friends.
I'm Lee, remember? From last night, your pizza place?
Yeah, right.
Li was also fascinated by the students' training at the local karate school.
You study karate or something?
Yeah, Kung Fu, I used to.
But Mia seemed uneasy and warned him to pick another dojo.
Just don't train here, okay?
Why not?
Because you can't.
The owner of the gym, Osha, was rough and things were complicated.
Hey, Daddy owes me a call.
Tell him yourself, O'Shea.
I tried. The old man don't listen.
Mia's father owed money to a gangster, and her ex-boyfriend Connor also trained there. Connor mocked Mia, saying she had replaced him too quickly. His friend laughed. Until Connor knocked him out with a kick. To protect Mia, Li pretended to be her boyfriend. Later, he even managed to bargain down the price of an item at a Chinese store and arranged for Mia to show him around the city.
It's a date!
No, it's not a date. It's an educational experience.
She gave him a tour of the city on her scooter, which broke down soon after, forcing them to take the subway home. On the train, Connor and his friends showed up.
Who's your friend? Hi, Lee.
Connor, don't start.
Jealous, Connor taunted Li, asking if the Chinese boy knew kung fu. Li defended Mia, but ended up getting punched in the eye.
Heads up!
Connor!
Seeing this, Mia warned him not to mess with Connor. He trained constantly and won the Five Streets Cup, a tough tournament among the city's best fighters. That night, Li came home with a black eye.
What happened to Stuffed Crust?
Victor, a former city boxing champion, knew how to hide bruises.
Ice it before bed and then sleep with a tea bag on it tonight.
Li frowned.
No fighting. It was a simple rule.
Li's mom blamed him for everything, insisting that fights can always be avoided. She introduced him to a tutor named Alan, reminding her son that his real priority should be preparing for college. Li remembered how his older brother once showed him a spectacular move called the Dragon Leap. Li had tried it himself, but only ended up hurting his backside.
你会的，总有一天。
The next day, Connor continued to taunt Li.
How's the eye? Looks like it's healing up nice.
The newcomer finally accepted his challenge.
You really want to do this, Beijing?
Connor mocked him, saying he could beat him without even using his hands, and he wasn't lying. Using only his legs, Connor sent Li crashing onto the asphalt. Determined, Li tried the praying mantis jump again. But Connor easily dodged and struck him down once more. Laughing, Connor invited Li to test his skills at the upcoming 5 Districts Cup, where things would get serious.
Fight me in the 5 boroughs where no one can save your ass.
That evening, a group of thugs came after Victor, knocking him out with a blow to the head.
Victor, look out!
Lee was supposed to be their next victim, but he fought back, using his kung fu skills. Though unsteady and lacking confidence, he still managed to take down the gang, leaving them humiliated and running away.
Let's get out of here! Let's go!
And I thought I was gonna rescue you.
But Osha wasn't going to stop there. His men continued pressuring Victor.
I took a loan from the kind of people you don't want to borrow money from.
Exhausted, Victor confessed that he had given up boxing years ago.
Most people don't know the moment their life changed forever. I get to see mine every day.
When Mia was born, he traded in his gloves for an apron, choosing stability over the ring. Still, part of him wished he could return. Winning a tournament could earn him more money than he had ever dreamed of. But for that, he needed Lee to teach him kung fu.
You teach me what you know. The speed, the flexibility, how you move.
Unsure, Lee called his grandfather for advice. Should I really teach him? He asked.
助人利己的事情都是好事啊。Sharing your knowledge is a good thing.
You must share your knowledge, Shofu replied firmly. When Lee criticized Victor's clumsy punches and slow movements, Victor snapped back.
So what are you doing here?
I can make you better.
They started with sparring. Lee needed to see what Victor was capable of. Just then, Mia walked in. Victor tried to explain himself, but she didn't believe training would change anything.
You're gonna fight again. Really? And you're gonna train him?
She feared her father would only get hurt. Still, Lee was determined. He hung a portrait of Han on the wall and declared it should be honored like a god. Then he began pushing Victor hard, making him train non-stop, even while making pizza or riding the subway.
Squat, don't bend.
Meanwhile, Lee started helping out at the pizzeria in Victor's place, while Victor slowly got back into fighting shape, remembering the strength of his younger years. He told Victor about his late brother who had won a kung fu tournament the year before.
My brother and I got attacked about a year ago.
His rival couldn't handle the defeat and attacked him on the street with his friends.
We were outnumbered.
One of them pulled a knife and killed him. Ever since, Lee had carried the heavy guilt of not being able to stop it. One day, Mia invited Lee to an Italian food festival.
Dude, you are so in.
Okay, we're just friends.
But when he got there, Lee saw Mia happily chatting with her ex, Connor. "Who's that?" he asked, jealousy in his voice.
Who's that guy?
Told you we were just friends.
Meanwhile, Victor had been training for a week straight, determined to bring kung fu into the boxing ring. But Lee was too upset with Mia to notice.
Let's just focus on that, okay?
No, not okay.
He pulled away from her, frustrated by how friendly she still was with Connor. Later, Mia admitted her mistake. Sometimes we do stupid things.
He wanted it to be, but I told him that I'm done making those same mistakes with him because I met someone that I want to make new mistakes with.
Mia almost kissed him seriously, but pulled back.
Oh my God. Really?
Well, we were just,
Victor headed to the ring, while Osha watched with satisfaction. Harry mentioned that he had placed a bet against Victor. Lee was by Victor's side as his second, encouraging him. Be water, not stone. Victor had promised his daughter that he would win, and he entered the fight with confidence. But his opponent quickly broke through his defense. Victor was taking too many hits and wouldn't last long. Suddenly, he landed one powerful cross that sent his opponent to the ground.
Repeat the technique.
The knockdown completely turned the fight around. The boxer in the blue gloves began to falter. Victor only needed to finish him off. But on Osha's orders, the opponent hit Victor with his elbow several times, then brutally knocked him out. Victor had to be rushed to the hospital. Lee was terrified, just like a year ago when his older brother had died, and he couldn't be there for Mia. Lee's mother scolded her son for breaking his promise.
I was training him to fight.
Xiaoli, I thought I was clear. No fighting.
But the boy was already crushed with disappointment in himself. He no longer wanted anything to do with martial arts. Lee wandered around New York all day, ignoring Mr. Han's calls. One evening when he came home, he realized someone was inside the apartment, and it definitely wasn't his mother. Suddenly, a stranger attacked him, beating him with kung fu. When the lights came on, Lee saw that it was Grandpa Han.
Now you see me, huh?
Who had just been messing around. Lee's mom was not at all happy about her uncle's unexpected visit. Mia immediately left the room when she saw Lee.
Victor, I'm so sorry about everything.
Victor, however, wasn't upset with the boy.
It's not your fault.
His mind was preoccupied with figuring out how to escape the city since he still hadn't paid his debt. Mr. Han offered to help.
Chinese saying, friend's problem is my problem.
His grandson would participate in the 5 Streets tournament.
You will fight.
I'm gonna what?
And they had 10 full days to prepare. Han, who had been friends with Mr. Miyagi in his youth, visited Miyagi's dojo, the Altar of Rice Vodka, where he met Miyagi's student, Daniel. Han asked Daniel to teach his grandson karate, since the tournament would be in karate, not kung fu.
I want Lee to learn Miyagi karate.
Alan, a true bookworm, inherited the Hanging Gardens, which became Lee's training ground. Shifu introduced him to Chinese exercise machines and tough training methods. Grandpa didn't care that Lee's mother opposed her son's participation in the tournament.
We're just supposed to let him fight.
It is not about fighting. It is about not giving up.
Dill showed up, though he didn't really want to.
You do realize it's impossible for a student to master karate in only 1 week, don't you?
Dill wanted to start soft, but the old master had no intention of giving his grandson a break, so he gave him a hard beating. Meanwhile, Connor furiously smashed wooden planks. Osha was teaching him to strike his opponents half to death.
We don't fight for points, we fight to kill.
There she discovered that the Chinese boy planned to enter the tournament for the sake of his family, intending to give all the prize money to Victor. But one problem remained. She thought she was falling in love with Alan.
I knew this plan would backfire.
The 5 Boroughs tournament was being held in the courtyard of a rough neighborhood. Lee's first fight was against Buddhist Stevenson. The match would end either when a fighter scored 8 points or by knockout. Lee chose the latter, sending Buddha straight to the mat. Like Connor, Lee advanced through the bracket with ease. Meanwhile, Victor was finally discharged from the hospital, thanks to a spectacular recovery. Connor reached the tournament final, and Lee wasn't far behind. He knocked out his opponent and secured his own spot as a finalist. Someone tried to send men after Lee, but the elders stood up to protect him.
Look out!
The final match would be held in a week, with $50,000 on the line. Dill suggested using Connor's own aggression against him. Lee and Han argued over which technique would work best and practiced on an unfortunate schoolboy. When Lee wasn't being pummeled by the elders, he trained by leaping among plants. Dill showed interest in the rhinoceros jump, though it seemed unlikely to work against Connor.
I tried it once on Connor already. Countered it, just like that. He saw it coming, knocked me down when I landed.
Sensei advised Lee to refine the move into a deceptive strike, requiring him to dive beneath his opponent. To practice, Lee trained on subway turnstiles, though every failed attempt left him with a minor concussion. Both Connor and Lee trained non-stop, though with very different methods. Eventually, Lee perfected the flying AEC jump with a sweeping strike. He was finally ready for the showdown. The final match was set to take place on the roof of a skyscraper. Even Lee's mother came to support him.
Oh, would be so proud of you. I am too.
Sensei and Shifu gave their last words of wisdom.
2 branches.
1 tree.
A huge crowd gathered on the rooftop arena. The challengers stepped onto the tatami first. The reigning champion, Connor, was brimming with confidence. After all, he had already defeated a Chinese fighter before.
Spinning hook kick to the face.
Connor opened aggressively, landing the first 2 points, then another precise strike to Lee's solar plexus. He dominated with a brutal double kick that sent both Lee and the referee tumbling.
Down goes Fong and the ref.
Osha was pleased with his student, but Lee refused to give in. Lee regained focus, stopped taking hits, and scored his first point.
That's our move.
The score was 4-1. The momentum shifted as Lee fought back and tied the match. Connor began losing confidence. Then Connor nearly ended it with a devastating strike to Lee's head, briefly knocking him unconscious. But before the referee could finish the count, Lee staggered back to his feet, determined to continue. The score was tied at 7-7. One final strike would decide everything. It was time for Lee to use the special technique he had prepared. Connor, remembering it well, wasn't expecting any surprises until Lee suddenly swept his legs out from under him, then delivered a powerful blow to the chest. That last strike sealed the match. Lee was crowned the new champion, but Connor couldn't accept defeat. Furious, he attacked Lee from behind. Instinctively, Lee flipped his opponent over and prepared to finish him off. But Mr. Hans stepped in and urged his student to show restraint. The crowd erupted in cheers as friends and family rushed to celebrate their hero. Afterward, Victor's life began to improve. His business was finally on the rise.
We're gonna miss you around here, Shifu.
Wrong hand.
Alan found steady work at the pizzeria.
Come visit Beijing. We opened third location.
You got the money, I got the time.
And that's a wrap for today's story. If you had fun, smash that like button and hit subscribe. We've got even more exciting recaps waiting for you right here on the screen.